Hey guys, this is Michael from Fixstop. This is going to be the disassembly of the brand new Nexus 5X from Google that was made by LG. To begin, we're going to be using a small Phillips head screwdriver, the Disassembly tool, a small plastic prying tool, the SIM card ejector, a guitar pick or plastic prying tool, and tweezers. We'll start out by ensuring that the phone is off. While it's turning off, we can take out the SIM card. We'll be using the SIM card slot to begin the opening process. Start by sliding the guitar pick into the slot and up between the back cover and the black frame of the phone. Twist the guitar pick until you hear the clip snap. This back cover isn't really meant to come off, so it's going to take a little bit of force to get through it. Make your way up the top and then down the other side. Make sure not to use a metal tool so that you don't scratch or damage the frame of the phone. It's important to use a tool softer than the frame in the back. Keep working your way down the sides and feel free to use your nails as well. Try not to bend too much as the back cover is plastic. Now that we have the back off, we can see the camera lens, the flash cover, and the laser autofocus housing. On the other side are radio antennas and the NFC coil that can be found around the camera lens. The only other thing on the back cover is the IMEI number on the bottom. If the phone turns back on, just take the time to ensure to turn it off again. Then we can begin by removing the 10 screws that hold down the plastic cover over the motherboard. All of these screws are the same size, so you don't have to worry about mixing them up. There are 4 clips around the cover that are holding it down. I find it best to start at the top right corner with a blade or the Disassembly tool. Slide the tool in and twist to release the clip. Another clip can be found on the left side of the phone. Then just lift up slightly to loosen the second clip on the bottom left side. and finally loosen the clip on the bottom. You do not have to be careful when lifting the plastic cover with the fingerprint sensor, as the connection to the motherboard are with contacts instead of a flex cable connector. On the top of the plastic cover is the fingerprint sensor along with some openings for other sensors. On the bottom are some radio antennas, and on the back is where the loudspeaker and fingerprint contacts can be found. First, we'll unplug the battery, and then we only have 3 more connectors to unplug before removing the motherboard. There are 2 microphones on the top of the motherboard. Along with the dual flash and the laser autofocus. These are the pins that the fingerprint sensor makes contact with. There's a third microphone on the bottom and contacts for the 3.5mm headphone jack to the right of that. You can also see the new USB Type-C connector. If your charging port needs to be replaced, then I recommend that you take it to someone specialized with soldering. On the back is a small film over the microphone and 4 small pins for the notification LED. Along the sides are the volume down, volume up, and power button that can also be found on the original Nexus 5. We also have 2 small films over the microphones up top along with the proximity sensor and the contacts for the earpiece. And lastly, we have the SIM card reader. We'll place this aside for a little while. To remove the battery, use a very thin tool to be able to slide under the battery. Pry up slowly and softly as there is adhesive below it. Try your best not to bend or damage the battery. Work your way around and under until the battery lifts up. This is the 2700 mAh battery, which is an upgrade from the original Nexus 5's 2300 mAh battery. Next, we will remove the vibrating module. To remove the front-facing camera, hold onto the flex cable and lift up gently while rocking it back and forth to loosen the adhesive below it. If you need to, use a little bit of heat on the front of the display. This is the 5 megapixel front-facing camera. To remove the earpiece, first begin to pull back on the tape holding it down. Then pry up from the side to remove it. Try to clean off any dust under it if you find that you're having trouble listening to people while on the phone. This is one of the 3 small microphone gaskets. This is the second. And the proximity sensor foam padding does not come off. Next, we'll remove the power and volume buttons, which are held down by small rubber holes around pins on the frame of the phone. To remove the 3.5mm headphone jack, use tweezers or a pencil to slide into the jack, and lift up as there is adhesive holding it below. To remove the main camera, use a thin plastic or metal tool to pry up from the left side. That side has the least adhesive. Don't dig the tool into the camera as it could damage it. Once the adhesive is let go, then it should be pretty easy to lift out. This is the 13 megapixel camera. The bottom of the phone has some tape covering the digitizer and LCD connections. As well as the backlight connection. Below that are the 4 contacts for the notification LED. I find it easiest to slide a very thin blade like an X-Acto knife to lift up the contacts to remove. Finally, this is the 3rd microphone gasket. If you need to change the screen, then I recommend buying it with the frame of the phone, so you don't have to worry about adhering the glass to the frame. I would also not recommend doing a glass replacement since the display is an LCD display. Local glue is very difficult to clean off of LCDs and could cause the display to look water damaged. To begin reassembly, we'll put back the LED first. If your notification LED isn't working after reassembly, then make sure that your contacts are all clean and aligned to the pins on the motherboard. The rubber gaskets only really have one way of going in. But make sure that the top left one has the opening facing up. For the power and volume buttons, make sure that the small pins on the frame go into the holes in the rubber to ensure that they aren't loose or fall off. Next, make sure that the audio jack fits in with the metal contacts on the right side. The front-facing camera will just slide into its housing and be held down with the adhesive that's still there, as well as the vibrating module and the main camera. When placing the earpiece, make sure that the contacts are to the right side, and cover it with the tape that we removed earlier. Slide the motherboard under the camera connectors and check that the digitizer and LCD connectors are also over the motherboard. They should all just snap right in. Finally, we can put the battery back and plug it all in. The black plastic cover will snap into the same 4 clips as earlier and be held down by the 10 screws. If your fingerprint sensor doesn't work after reassembly, make sure that none of the contacts have been damaged and that they're all aligned correctly. To put the final cover back on, make sure that the auto laser focus housing fits around the laser. Don't try to push down if it doesn't want to go down. To reduce the chance of damaging the laser, start on that corner. and make sure that the corner is flush before snapping in all the other clips around the phone. There's also one last clip around the camera that must be pushed down so that the back cover sits flush with the fingerprint sensor. Make sure to insert your SIM card before turning it on and you're done. If you like this disassembly, please like and comment on this video and subscribe for future disassemblies and repairs. Your feedback would be greatly appreciated. And if you have any more questions, feel free to email me at michael@fixstop.com. Thank you.